I'm Marie Fordney. I'm the Executive Director for the Children's Advocacy Center of Southern Arizona. Before I begin, I want to acknowledge that child abuse can be a really difficult topic, but it's also really important to talk about it because in Pima County alone, there are about 9,000 investigations into child abuse every year. The Children's Advocacy Center has been the place where abuse ends and healing begins for over 28 years. And what we've learned is that families need wraparound support in order to heal. The easiest way for me to explain what we do is to give an example. One of the things that we do in the community to prevent abuse is to provide presentations in schools so that kids understand that they have the right to be safe, and so the adults around them know how to recognize signs of abuse and make an appropriate report. One time when we did this, a third grade teacher had to call 911 because one of her students was being sexually abused by her father. I'll call her Ashley. Ashley, just 9 years old, was brought to the Children's Advocacy Center for her interview and an exam. Now, having us collect the forensic evidence is so important because we can do it in a trauma-informed way. Because we did the interview, Ashley didn't have to tell her story to a scary police officer in the back of a squad car. Because we did the exam, Ashley didn't have to go to the emergency room to get her services. She was able to come to our child-focused, victim-centered environment where she could get her services from our incredibly qualified and professional medical team. The way you shift a child out of danger and towards safety is so important because it can impact how completely they heal. One of the important lessons from the adverse childhood experiences is that traumatic events like child abuse can have lifelong consequences. These kids without the right support can struggle with substance use, mental health, criminal activity, and their physical health even can suffer because of the toxic toll of that stress. So we don't stop with trauma-informed evidence collection. We also provide the support that Ashley's whole family needs in order to help her heal. In her case, Ashley's mom was in shock. She was blaming herself for her husband's behavior, and she was freaking out because she was going to have to pay all the bills in the home. So we gave her what we have on hand thanks to our generous donations: grocery store gift cards, gas cards, clothing, and then we connect the families to long-term resources. In Ashley's case, the food bank, and her mom needed to find a job, so we connected her to resources for that. Our advocates stay on the healing journey with these families, and we're here with them for as long as they need us. They join our support groups, they take our parent classes, and they sometimes call back even years later when they need something. Long story short, Ashley's dad was arrested and confessed. Our interview and nurse both testified in trial, and he was sentenced to 35 years in prison. But more importantly, Ashley really blossomed after that event. We checked in with her mom, one of the check-ins a couple weeks later, and she was sleeping through the night without nightmares. She was eating again, and she was even talking about joining the volleyball team. She had literally transformed from this ball of stress back into a child. I've worked in nonprofit for a long time, and I cannot imagine work that is more important. By the time the kids leave, they're asking for hot Cheetos and trying to beat you at Connect 4. And although I recognize this work is very heavy, it's also very inspiring. And we know that we've made a difference for those kids when they leave. So I would invite you to come take a tour, engage with us in whatever way is comfortable. If you choose not to make a gift to us, I still want to hear from you. I still want you to know all about what we do. And I really appreciate your consideration.